Good evening.
Who the hell is Paul Brion?
I have no idea. I hear he's some jackass from Mansfield. So that song said something about a whore. I want to be your whore.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. You know what, Paul?
That song.
Hey, let's go find some hookers.
Yeah.
And then choke them to death.
With our dicks. Yeah. Let's do that. So that last song you heard was for Mark in Houston. Rich, thank you for the introduction. I am Paul Brion. I'm from Mansfield, next town over, if you don't count the other couple towns that are between here and Mansfield.
Wait a minute.
I am not going to play Freebird. Who said that? No, it's not going to happen. Sorry, guy in the hat, glasses. You did a good job, by the way. Thank you. It's awesome. Anyway. I've always been kind of analytical, always wondered about things, questioned things, you know, wonder why certain things happen, why certain things are the way they are, you know. Like, I like to read fun, interesting facts about things. Like, for example, if you took all the veins out of your body and lined them up around the world, you'd be dead. But just in case you were wondering, they will go around the earth 2.5 times. But you'd still be dead, so you wouldn't really give a shit. Another thing I was always curious about was the trash cans I haven't really seen in a while that always said, put litter in its place. Because, well, what is litter? It's trash that did not make it to the garbage can. So litter, by definition, is shit that's laying around where it's not supposed to be. So if you put litter in its place, you've put shit out there, outside of a garbage can. So, if they really want you to throw litter where they want you to throw it, they want you to put shit in a garbage can. They should just say, put that shit in a garbage can. Were you all aware that 35% of individuals that respond to personal ads are married? Did you know that? That is a very interesting fact. And it's true. I didn't research it myself. I've never been married. But, you know, it is what it is.
But you have been stalking the missing connections on Craigslist.
Missed connections, yes.
I'm sorry.
And basically, what I had planned on doing was, you know, getting a couple of them and translating them for you. I was going to read the actual ad and then translate it into what the actual ad meant. Actually, I didn't even have to do that because 100% of the ads I read translate into, hey, I saw you, I'd like to rape you, but with your permission. Please respond with tan t-shirt, if you know what I mean. So John has 30 Snickers bars. 30. Jumbo Snickers bars. John eats 28 of these jumbo Snickers bars. What does John have?
Really big shit.
Diabetes. John has diabetes. And what you said. A really big shit. With peanuts and caramel and tasty whatever else is in a Snickers bar. I think it's nougat, but I can't be sure. James Hetfield, Saddam Hussein, and Lady Gaga walk into a bar. And the bartender says, "What the fuck is this, a joke?" A sandwich walks into a hair salon. So this guy's getting ready to go to work one morning. And he hears a voice in his head. And the voice in his head says, "Quit your job. Sell everything you own." And the man just kind of dismissed it, you know. He subconsciously thinks, well, you know, I kind of hate my job. I really don't like where I'm living. I'm just basically unhappy. And after a couple of weeks, the voice became more frequent. Quit your job, sell everything you own. Quit your job, sell everything you own. Over and over again. And voice became more frequent every couple of seconds. Quit your job, sell everything you own. Quit your job, sell everything you own. Over and over again, drove the man fucking nuts. He quits his job, sells everything he's got. Voice in the man's head said, get on a plane, go to Las Vegas. The man gets on a plane, goes to Las Vegas. He's got all this money from selling everything he's got. Voice in the man's head said, go to the Circus Casino and find the roulette table. He's walking around the city. He finds Circus. Walks inside, walks around a little bit, finds the roulette table. Waits to be the next guy in line. He's getting nervous. He's waiting for the voice. Getting nervous, waiting for the voice. Voice in the man's head said, bet everything you have on 21 black. The guy takes out all his money. He says, here, everything I got. 21 black. Everything I got. 21 black. He's shaking. He's nervous. Everything I got. 21 black. Dealer takes the money, spins the wheel, puts the ball down. Ball lands on 18 red. And the voice in the man's head says, fuck! Do you serve coffee at the bar? Do you serve coffee? I know there's a lot of people like their coffee different ways. You know, cream, sugar, no cream. You know, cream, no sugar. I like my coffee like I like my women.
Ground up and in the freezer.
That is correct. Richard, please have a round of applause for Rich, because he knew where I was going with that one. No, I don't like, I do like my women like I like my coffee, hot and black, but also ground up and in the freezer.
After we choke them to death.
Right, with our dicks.
That's a stretch, Paul.
It is a stretch, because, well, I don't want to get into it right now, but it is a stretch.
That is what the duct tape's for.
That's what she said also. Silence is golden, but duct tape is silver. Just remember that. Richard.
Yes?
I've been having a little bit of trouble with this one. Could you ask me if I'm a tractor?
Paul?
Yes, Richard.
Would you happen to be a tractor?
No, I am not. So this ape walks into a bar and orders a pint of lettuce. And the bartender looks at the ape and says, that's fucking ridiculous. So this penguin walks into a bar and says to the bartender, have you seen my brother? And the bartender says, I don't know, what's he look like? What do you call a blind kid with one arm? Anybody? Just shout it out. Names. What did the blind kid with one arm get for Christmas? Cancer. He got cancer for Christmas.
Dude.
Too soon?
No.
Too soon? Too close? Too whatever the fuck? I don't know.
No. Too Paul.
To Paul. Hey, that's a good one. Houston Baker, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to come up here tonight and sing some Slayer for you. You don't know it yet, but he's going to fucking do it.
Holy shit, a talking muffin.
So there's two muffins in an oven. And after a little while, one looks at the other and says, geez, it's getting fucking warm in here. And the other one turns around and says, holy shit, a talking muffin. So there's this moth. And he goes into a podiatrist's office.
1 second, Paul.
Yes, sir.
What kind of a moth would it happen to be?
He's a Luna moth. One of those big ones that you
One of the
see
big ones.
every now and then, you know?
Okay, continue.
Green one with little spots on it, you know? Right. This moth goes into a podiatrist's office. Does everybody know what a podiatrist is? Just so I am clear. Because the last time I told this joke, not everybody knew what a podiatrist was. A podiatrist is a foot doctor. He looks at your toenails and says, you're fucked. You have an ingrown toenail. And they hurt, by the way. So this moth goes into a podiatrist's office. And the podiatrist says, what's the problem? And the moth says, what's the problem? Where do I begin, man? As I go to work for Gregory Alinovich, and all day long I work. Honestly, Doc, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I don't even think Gregory Alinovich knows. He just knows that he has power over me, and that seems to bring him happiness. But I don't know, I wake up in a malaise, and I walk here and there. And the podiatrist says, yeah? The moth says, yeah. He says, sometimes at night I roll over and there's some old lady in my bed that's on my arm, Doc. A lady I once loved. And my youngest, Alexandria, she fell in the cold of last year. The cold took her down, as it did many of us. And my other boy, Grigaro Ivanilidovich, and this is the hardest pill to swallow, Doc, I no longer love him. As much as it pains me to look in his eyes, all I see is the same cowardice as I see when I look at my own self in the mirror. If only the cowardice was stronger, I could bring myself to reach for that cocked and loaded gun that lays on the bedside behind me and end this hellish facade once and for all. He says, Doc, sometimes I feel like a spider, even though I'm a moth, just clinging to my web with an everlasting fire underneath me. He says, I'm not feeling good. And the podiatrist says, man, moth, you are troubled, but you should be seeing a psychiatrist. Why on earth did you come here? And the moth says, because the light was on.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Reluctantly crouched at the starting line, engines pumping and thumping in time. The green light flashes